So it feels to me like 2022 is the year where we get the insert element here fall pipeline of movies. We got Moonfall about a month ago, and we all know how that turned out. What's next? Firefall? Windfall is the newest claustrophobic thriller exclusive on Netflix. It's directed by Charlie McDowell, and it stars a fantastic trio: Jason Siegel, Jesse Plemons, and Lily Collins. And Jason Siegel plays a man who breaks into a tech billionaire's empty vacation home, but things go sideways when the arrogant mogul, played by Plemons, and his wife, played by Collins, arrive for a last-minute getaway. They're really cranking out the claustrophobic thrillers lately, aren't they? Well, with No Exit, X in theaters right now, and now this? I mean, we're getting spoiled. If you like the claustrophobic thrillers specifically, this is a great time to be a fan of those. This one I don't think is going to be as memorable as most of the other ones that we've been getting, especially lately. But I think what will really carry this movie over the top are two things. One is this trio of main actors. Jason Siegel is literally the best he's been in years as this robber. He is frenetic, he's calm, he's boisterous. There's so much that he gets to explore here emotionally, and I think he was certainly up for the task, as was Jesse Plemons as this Mark Zuckerberg / Jeff Bezos type character. And y'all know how much I love Jesse Plemons. I've loved him for a long time, ever since Breaking Bad came out. I really respect how he's taken a lot of roles lately, like in The Power of the Dog, for example. He's really playing a lot against his type here. He's not necessarily the villain of this piece, necessarily, but I mean, he's typically typecast as the bad guy, and I really respect that he's taking roles that are so outside of his comfort zone, and he does great with it. Same with Lily Collins, who gets a lot of juicy material to sink her teeth into as well. These three working together I mean, that's the highlight of the film for me. The confrontations that they share, Plemons and Siegel just death stares at each other. It's just so intense, man. And I think that's the other big thing that's gonna carry Windfall over the top for a lot of people. It's the messages that it carries. This is your classic tale of haves versus have-nots. Jason Siegel's motivation for actually breaking into this house is actually fairly interesting. And I don't want to get too deep into spoilers, of course, about what that motivation is, just in case you guys decide to check this out. But it's unlike really any other claustrophobic thriller I've ever seen. It's not like in Panic Room, where he has a family to provide for or anything like that, but it's interesting. It's really interesting, and I really liked how it was presented. I mean, good direction, good production design all around. I really like the look of this house. I mean, it really just screams status here. As if Jesse Plemons and Lily Collins' performance weren't enough in terms of how conceited their characters may be, this freaking mansion that they have here, this is just a secondary home for them, and it's so luxurious. The haves versus have-nots messages can get a little bit repetitive, which is actually my biggest issue with Windfall, and I think that's what's ultimately going to hold it back from being an instant classic. This screenplay can get really repetitive, man. I mean, yeah, this is a claustrophobic thriller. Really don't have a whole lot of places to go. So the focus has to be more on the characters, and I really respect a movie like this. If it's done right, the character arcs can be really captivating. And unfortunately, it really wasn't. It really doesn't feel like these characters changed at all. There were a lot of conversations they were having within this runtime, and I was like, didn't we go through this already? I feel like they've said a lot of these words before. I mean, it's not like it's badly performed or anything. The actors are giving this material their damnedest, but it just felt really redundant a lot of the time, you know what I mean? And it's really interesting that I'm saying that right now, because this movie is only 92 minutes, which is not very long. And yet, when the movie keeps repeating itself over and over again within a very short runtime, it's like, what else do you really gain out of it? I mean, we get the lesson, they're hammering it in for sure, but I just wish that there was a lot more that they could have explored here. There's a lot of really missed potential, I think, with these characters. The idea for a theme here is certainly prevalent here, and I think it's presented really nicely, but with the script, the way it's written, I mean, missed potential, unfortunately, guys. I personally, for one, think that Windfall could have worked better maybe as a short film, and if you condense that message down into maybe, like, I don't know, like 30 minutes, maybe cut this movie in half, up to 45 minutes, which I don't think necessarily qualifies as a short anymore if it's 45. But anyway, if this were trimmed down by at least half, I feel like this product would have been much better. as it is, it's a good looking movie. Jesse Plemons and Jason Siegel and Lily Collins are all great together. It's just not something you're gonna remember tomorrow. I'm gonna give Windfall a C+. Yeah, it's really disappointing I'm saying that. I really wanted to love this movie, guys, and I just feel kind of indifferent towards it. But let me know what you guys thought of Windfall down in the comments section below. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this movie more than I did. Let me know what you guys thought of it all down there. Go ahead and start that discussion. I love discussing movies and all things entertainment with you guys. Making these videos is obviously a blast, but getting to interact with you guys makes things all the more fun for me. If this is your first time visiting the channel as well, just a reminder, smash that subscribe button along with that notification bell right next to it. That way you guys don't miss out on any other future uploads. And don't forget, hit that like button as hard as you possibly can. That way, you know, this content can reach more beautiful people like you out there. And of course, I think I mentioned in my review of X, but I am slowly chipping away at all the new releases that came out March 18th, yesterday at the time of recording. That's because I'm closing up a musical out here where I'm living, so please bear with me. That's why my content has been a little bit more sparse. I'm going to have a lot more out there over these next couple weeks, including reviews for The Lost City and Everything Everywhere All at Once, both of which I am very excited to check out. But guys, y'all are the best. Thank you all so much for supporting the channel up to this point. With all that being said, Back Talk, commence.